Hello again, basketball fans. Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We are the Fantasy NBA. Today, we're about to preview Tuesday night slate in the NBA. Before we do, a quick word from our sponsor, Bet Online. The biggest betting weekend of the year is finally here. It's rather super, which means updated odds and props for Super Sunday. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. They have hundreds of prop bets, MVP odds, exclusive in-game live betting, and more. BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. Have fun with it. Go nuts. Put some money in there. It's Super Sunday, right? Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline offers you everything and more to enhance your game day experience. Visit the website today and make the game day action count just a little bit more. BetOnline, the game starts here. Doc, let's start with Dallas at Philadelphia, and I've got a quick take, and I want to get you talking here. Ride the hot hand, folks, with Tyrese Maxey, okay? Tyrese Maxey's at home against a shorthanded Maverick team that's not very good defensively, at least to my eye test. The point prop over is your play here. Don't do anything else. Don't worry about the spread, the total. Just load up on this, okay? If we do this, anyway, Tyrese Maxey, if it's at 27.5, 28.5, or 29.5, play the over. If it's at 30.5, leave it alone. There's no value in that, okay? Anything below 30, there's value. He's got 5 straight games with 30-plus points. He's gone 31, 43, 30, 42, 34, okay? Dallas has nobody to stop him. PJ Washington will try, and he will fail. Kyrie Irving's going to try to outscore him. So, Doc, I wanted to start there, man. What you got on Dallas and Philly?
Well, after the Luka Doncic trade, I think we've already talked here a lot about Kyrie feeling loved by the Mavericks organization. Now I think he really feels loved, right? Because they got rid of Luka. Like, this is Kyrie's team now. Kyrie and Anthony Davis. And we aren't going to see Anthony Davis probably till after the All-Star break, but to your point about Tyrese Maxey, Kyrie can't stop Maxey. Nobody on Dallas can stop Maxey. He should go off. But Kyrie Irving is going to go off as well the rest of the way for the Mavericks, I think. Like, he's going to be on fire. And Spencer Dinwiddie has been disappointing and inconsistent, sometimes great, sometimes not great, but he should have a red light the rest of the way, I would think. And Anthony Davis wants to play the power forward position, so I think Daniel Gafford should be good to go at center. Rick, when are we going to see Anthony Davis play basketball for the Mavericks?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be pretty shortly after hold on a second. I believe they're talking about next week for Anthony Davis, and he's clearly out for this game. And it's a little bit murky and uncertain here. I don't know. I don't think Dallas makes this trade if Davis were scheduled to miss a month. Dan Wokey, who's an LA insider, reported that and I'm paraphrasing, that the Lakers didn't view this as a really long-term thing. So it's a little bit of a hiccup. Luka is aiming to play next week, perhaps even Monday. And so Davis is going to be longer out, I think, but I think I don't think it's going to be too long. Yeah, probably after the All-Star break, Doc. They'll probably give him that extra week and then bring him back with much.
While we're talking about it, where were you? We haven't been on the air since Luka got traded for Anthony Davis. On what, Friday night at?
It was Saturday night.
Saturday night at 12:20.
Yeah, everybody was either partying or asleep, and there was nothing in between.
Where were you when you found out?
Partying. I had just gotten back from an absolutely amazing concert at it's a tongue twister, Bayboro Brewing Company. I saw 2 incredible local jam bands, Ajeva and Tamayo, and I was inspired, Doc. I haven't seen local music rock like that at like a high-end jam band level in a long, long time, dude. So I was vibing, okay? And then I'm back home and having a little nightcap, chilling, outside on, I don't want to chilling outside a little bit. And I get this call from Doc. And he's like, "Did you hear it?" And I literally had just seen on Twitter about a minute before, or a notification came up on my phone. And I'm like, and I didn't even open it, right? It was just like on that pre-screen before you even put in your password. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this Shams? Wait, this actually looks like Shams. I'm like, this isn't real. Like this is a hack, or NBA Centel put this out, or I'm getting played. And then Doc calls right as I'm having those thoughts. And so Doc, take the story from there. But that's where I was. And this was a situation where I think all of us are going to remember where we were and what we were doing when this trade went down.
I was sitting at Johnny B's.
Of course you were.
It was super crowded. I came home. We had gone to the wineries during the day, and I came home and took a nap. And my daughter, who wasn't supposed to be in town, called me, and she's like, "I'm at Johnny B's. Where are you?" And I was like, "Oh." So I had my son run me over there, and so I'm sitting there in the dark, kind of with all these, all my kids' friends. So I'm with all these super young people, and I'm just kind of sitting in the back by myself, and I'm watching Sports Center, or an NBA basketball game was on TV, and on the scroll underneath, it was a breaking news. And I could barely see it, and I thought it said Luka for Anthony Davis, and I was like, wait a second. I got my phone out and I looked at it. I was like, holy bleep. Like, it's on ESP. It's on the television. It has to be real.
But you still didn't kind of believe
it. If I would have gotten a tweet, I would have been like, oh, it's Sharms Sharania. It's not from Shams. It's like some imposter account. Dude, I could not believe it. And I started telling my boys, like all the people I knew there that like sports, they're like, shut up, you're lying. Like nobody believed. Like it's still hard to believe.
It's still hard to believe.
It's still hard to believe.
Doc, WTF was the phrase or acronym of the weekend. I actually went and saw another afternoon show on Sunday in Tampa. Met this dude, just kind of chilling, watching the show. Having a beer, and this guy was an NBA fan. We start talking, and he's like, "What about the Luka trade?" And I go, "What the bleep?" And he goes, "What the bleep?" So, like everybody's saying that. Tyler Hero said it on Twitter, man. I'll never, Doc. I just again, you don't trade a 25-year-old imperfect, burgeoning human being for a soon-to-be 32-year-old guy. You just don't do that. So there's more to this story, right? Who hated Luka in Dallas? How much did they hate him? Like, what were the degrees of Luka's entitlement and empowerment? And, was it the Zion stuff where you're like late for flights or pardon me, not Zion, but Jimmy Butler and stuff like that? Wait, that was Zion too. So
both.
Like, has he been insubordinate in all this kind of stuff, or just doughy, lazy, and a party animal, kind of like me?
Dude, I don't know, but I tell you what, almost every major trade of our lifetime seems like it involved the Lakers. They traded for Kobe. They traded for Pau Gasol. They traded for Luka. They get the whole Shaq thing. Like it's wild, man. And leave it up to Jeannie Buss and the Lakers. They got Luka. And I'll tell you what, man, he can be 275, fat, slow, whatever. Dude balls every night. It's not like he's Billy Pultz, the Whopper out there. He's Luka. Like I still can't believe it. And I don't even know. I mean, I feel like Nico Harrison is the guy that hates Luka. And I feel like Nico Harrison may be some sort of health nut, teetotaler, non-drinker. Like, he's the one that took the beer away from Luka in the locker room after last year.
Good
and
point.
Maybe he just hates guys who drink. But, I saw something about, Luka has the worst work ethic of any NBA player I've ever seen in history. Somebody anonymously said that out of Dallas. That may be the case. I mean, he's a baller. Like I hope Luka goes to the Lakers and just goes off. But
He's
the
going to.
Lakers are going to be in trouble with no Anthony Davis defense. So speaking of Lakers, the Lakers and Clippers played tonight.
They do, and we'll get to that in just a second, Doc. In terms of Luca, Dallas is going to rue this trade. Okay. If you look, you're in Georgia, you're a Hawks fan. How do Hawks fans feel about the Dominique Wilkins trade right now? Hello, I'm
Uh,
looking for an answer. They hate it. They still to this day get visibly pissed off about the Dominique Wilkins trade.
yeah,
Like the old school Hawks fans. 25-year-old
yeah.
Hawks fans don't damn know, okay? 50-plus-year-old Hawks fans to this day are butt bitter about the Neek trade. Mavericks fans 40 years from now are going to be pissed off about the Luka Doncic trade. Shout out to Day'Ron Sharp of the Brooklyn Nets, Andre Lemush's guy. Because Day'Ron Sharp in an interview said, if I were a Mavericks fan, I'd be pissed. I love that. And if I were a Mavericks fan, I'd be pissed off as well.
Well,
So,
and
Doc,
how many little kids just love Luka Doncic and that live in Dallas? Like, oh my God, I can't believe we have Luka. Like, this is so incredible. Like there were kids crying all over Texas on
I believe
Sunday
that.
morning.
I believe that. It's a good point, dude.
There were probably
Heartbroken.
adults. There were probably adults crying. It's crazy.
Mark Cuban was, I think Mark Cuban was one of them, Doc. I think he's pissed off about this.
It's the most shocking trade of my lifetime that I remember. Like, I don't remember being more shocked, really, by any sports story that I've ever heard outside of Len Bias. My mom waking me up and telling me Len Bias is dead.
Magic Johnson's announcement of having HIV is by far the most for me. And then I'd have to like go through my brain for some of the other stuff. But this is right up there, Doc.
It's
And
up there.
I echo what you say in terms of a trade. There's never been a trade that has hit me with like a bigger earthquake or a bigger like Cat 5 hurricane. This is it. So yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So Doc, let's talk about Daniel Gafford here real quick. Okay, he's off the injury report for this game against Philadelphia. He had a sore left ankle that kept him out of that disaster when Dallas forfeited that game against the Cavs. Well, all those guys are coming back. Kyrie, Washington, Gafford, they're all going to play. Okay, check this out, Doc. And I know you're a big parlay guy. I'm not. You are. And I know we have a lot of people watching that are big parlay people as well. I don't have a single game parlay. I don't have a multi-game parlay. I have a one dude parlay. It's the Daniel Gafford parlay. Tell me if you're feeling what I'm sending out here. The point prop over, the rebound prop over, the block prop over, the point and rebound prop over, the double-double prop. Okay? That's 5 props. That's a 5-leg, one-man parlay. Okay? You got to have some pretty good odds on a return on that. Here's why you're doing it. Okay? Mr. Parlay, Dr. A. Over the last 2 weeks, Daniel Gafford is averaging 19 and 11 with 4 Wemby-esque blocks per game. Davis is not playing. Lively is not playing. That show is still Gafford's to do everything that he has to in the paint, okay? Another big game is coming. No Embiid, no Drummond, okay? And so, to my speculation, there's no way that Las Vegas is caught up to these numbers, Doc, okay? His point prop may be 13.5 or 14.5. Play the over. He's at 19 the last 2 weeks. There's no way his point prop's going to be 18.5. There's no way. Okay. Maybe his rebound prop is 10.5. Okay, then more critically evaluate this. But if his rebound prop is at 9.5, bang, bang, bang on. Okay. And then the block prop. There's no way his block prop is more than 2.5. It's probably at 1.5. Okay. So there's no way Vegas is quite adjusted to the level that Gafford is at right now. So to me, that's a parlay sweet spot for you, brother.
I like it. That's a good call. Andre just posted that he just told us that Luka just bought a $15 million house in Dallas and closed on it last week. Apparently, he cried when he found out,
What?
according to Chandler Parsons.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. Well, that clears up one thing for me. That's a good piece of intel, Andre. This clears up one thing for me, and it was kind of mostly cleared up, but there was a little bit of lingering doubt for me, Doc, and it is this. Did Luka ask out, right? Okay, so why would Dallas trade Luka Doncic? So if Luka asked out, kind of like De'Aaron Fox did without asking out, right? De'Aaron Fox declined the long-term extension, which is basically his way of asking out, right? Without having to say those words. But that is a player basically saying, get me out of here. So I'm like, this has to be what's going on with Luka. Why in the bleep would Dallas trade this guy? So this makes the trade from the Dallas side even dumber, Doc. The fact that Luka had no thoughts at all about asking out, was going to sign a long-term extension, was going to be a Maverick for life, right? And they traded him anyway.
He lost his Supermax. He was going to be Supermaxed, and Nico didn't want to pay him. It's just bizarre, dude. It's bizarre. And I do feel, I'm a Luka guy anyway, but I feel bad for him. Like buying a $15 million house, you got to jump through hoops and go through red tape and put a lot of work and time into doing that. Not to mention money. And now he's got to deal with trying to get rid of that thing, or maybe he'll just keep it. I don't know, but man.
I doubt it's Dallas, dude, and I love Dallas, but
if never going back to Dallas again.
Yeah, if you're on the water in Miami and you get traded to LA, you keep your home on the water in Miami. If you have a badass penthouse in Manhattan and you get traded from the Knicks to the Lakers, you keep your badass penthouse in Manhattan. You don't keep a $15 million home in Dallas. I don't think, and trust me, these are first world problems that I have never been able to relate with, but I'm just saying. I don't think he's going to be keeping that home, dude. I think that home is going to hit the market, man. I really do.
Are we ever going to see Joel Embiid play basketball again?
I don't know, and I don't care. I just my ship has left the dock, and I'm waiting on other news to maybe change my opinion. But I do have a more salient question, Doc. I know that you've been a Max Christie guy. Do you see any hope for value for Max Christie in Dallas?
I mean, I think at this point he is what he is, right? Like,
is he going to do what he's doing with the Lakers right now in Dallas? 10, 4, and 3 with some sprinkled in block steals and threes. And you probably know his stat line better than me. I've kind of turned off on Max Christie, but I know that's around where he's been at.
He's not going to start for Dallas. He was starting for LA.
Bingo.
He's going to have Klay Thompson really do something bad to get back in the starting lineup. So the answer is no. I think if you're holding Max Christie, it's probably time to move on because he's going to play behind Klay. He's going to play behind Kyrie. He's got to deal with Dinwiddie. No, I don't think Max Christie, when he was starting for the Lakers, he wasn't that good. So I'm still not even sure why they were starting him to begin with. So no, I think he is a drop.
All right, good. All your opinions are good, but we are in lockstep on that one. He is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. I am Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA today, breaking down Tuesday's slate in the NBA. We move on now to a big game, the Celtics at the Cavaliers. And I have an ATS delivery for you, Doc. The Boston Celtics are getting 2.5 points. Give me those 2.5 points. This is with an asterisk. This is assuming that Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Kristaps Porzingis all play. If any of those four don't play, I'm out on this, okay? But if the core four is in there, I'm about it. Boston is, frankly, one of the best road teams I've ever seen. Not for the last 5 years, but over the last, I'll just say this year, and probably last year, too, on the ascent to the championship. They are freaking badass on the road, man. They especially Tatum and Brown, they just flex all of that experience, all the big games they've been in, all of the different scenarios they've been in. They've seen it all. and they're ready for it all. And they just come through time and time again. Okay. The other night, like both of them hit like late game shots. It was like then Brown and then Tatum. These guys are amazing. Boston is 19-6 on the road. 19-6. Let that sink in. I know, right? Best road record in the NBA. Tatum, Doc, is a plus almost 3 per game on the road. 3.2 actually. He's 25.2 at home, 28.4 on the road. What? Okay, the Cavs have won 4 straight, but let's take a closer look. They beat Dallas when Dallas forfeited the game. They beat Atlanta without Jalen Johnson and other guys. They beat Miami without Jimmy Butler. And then they beat Detroit, which is a good win. I'll take no credit off of that as well. So I like Boston plus 2.5 on Tuesday night, Doc.
Cleveland had lost 3 in a row previous to winning their last 4. They're also 24-3 at home. That's pretty darn good. But I do feel like Boston needs to flex here and show some muscle and be like, look, you guys have been the talk of the league in the East all year, but we're not going anywhere. So anytime you can give the defending world champions who have no red flags next to anybody's name that I can see on a depth chart, as far as injuries go, they should be fully healthy. And I think it's good. I think Boston getting points is a good deal.
And then, Doc, I have another one for you and the people. Jason Tatum. I like his point prop over here. We already talked about the plus situation on the road. I highly doubt Vegas computes that into a prop bet and gets him all the way to 28.5. I highly doubt that. His season average is 26.9. I would guess that his point prop over in this game will be 27.5. Okay, very bangable. 28.5 is right on his road average. And you know what? I'm playing the over on that as well. I think there's value in anything below 30. 29.5 is like, you're killing me. I'm probably not playing that. But 28.5 and below I am. Because this just is a 30-point game in the making for Jason Tatum. I can just feel it, man. So I got those 2 vibes here, Doc. Anything else here on Boston and Cleveland before we move on?
No, that should be a great game. Everybody's healthy on both sides for the most part, and I'll be watching that one.
We will be watching it, and we'll be breaking it down on Tuesday night, late night. Hey, before we move on to the next game, thank you guys so much for watching the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. We love and appreciate your support. Head over to sportsethos.com for us and subscribe. Also, and especially if you're watching on the YouTube channel, go ahead and leave the podcast a 5-star review. Subscribe to the podcast, and we'd appreciate that, man. It shows support, it builds numbers for us, and it'll help us keep this thing on the tracks. Houston plays at Brooklyn on Tuesday night. And Doc, after watching what happened at the Garden on Monday night, where Houston's super shorthanded, yet they fight hard and they barely lose to the Knicks. They've lost 3 games in a row now. Okay, Houston has. Houston's probably going to kick Brooklyn's butt no matter who is out there. Just knowing the culture that Ime Udoka has established for this team. Now, this is an interesting one, too. There's more motivation here on the Houston side, Doc, because this is the second of a home and home for these 2 teams, with Houston also playing the Knicks. But over the weekend, the Nets went into Houston and beat the Rockets. I know, it doesn't compute. D'Angelo Russell played, Nicholas Claxton played, and they both played pretty well. But to me, the Rockets are going to be pissed. Losing 3 in a row, you just took an L to Brooklyn. And you and I both appreciate like the fabric of this program. So I wanted to put that out there. The point spread, I believe I saw it, and it's huge. Let me see if I can find this.
9.5.
Golly, I don't like that. All right, I'll just leave it at a vibe. I'm not scooping that up at 9.5. I'm just not. Second of a back-to-back, I can't. I think it's the 3rd game in 4 nights too. But Doc, couple other vibes here. This is going to be a Cam Whitmore special. I just feel it. This is one of those gut things, right? He had a good game on Monday. Players could be rested. They're already going to be shorthanded. And I think Cam Whitmore is going to be unleashed. And he's playing a very, very bad team, okay? And Cam Whitmore's just that guy. Ring the bell. He's always ready to go. Second of a back-to-back. He doesn't care about all that stuff. We could see Holiday and Shepard spike up a little bit if Jalen Green is rested, okay? And then I have an Amen Thompson vibe, but I'll check up right there, Doc. Give me what you got here on Houston at Brooklyn.
You know what? I mean, the Brooklyn Nets depth chart just confuses me more than anything. It's just a bunch of guys.
I know.
And any of them can go off on any night, and any of them can do nothing on any night. It's like a G League team. Like, you don't even know what's happening there. I do like Alpi Şengün for Houston, though. I mean, I think that's a good matchup. Nick Claxton has not been great. And Şengün, like, he needs to play well. Like, I think you're right, dude. I think the Rockets are coming into this game very determined, very angry. It's 9.5 points. I'm tempted to lay the 9.5 and take the Rockets, because they've got to be asking themselves right now, how the hell did we lose at home to the Nets? And they're mad. That's not happening again.
I'm with you. I can't go to 9.5. It's ballsy. And I don't have those balls right now. I just don't. I think they're going to win the game. But this is so I gave you the Daniel Gafford parlay. I have another single dude parlay. I'm not sure that the Vegas number can contain a PRA prop for Amen Thompson right now. Okay, and I got some math here, so follow me. All right. Especially now that Fred VanVleet is out, and it's going to be a week-to-week thing, according to a report that came out today. I've got the Amen parlay for you. Play the point prop over, rebound over, assist over, and PRA over. Or you can just go with the PRA over, or as I would do, I would play each of these individual, $20 on each bet or something like that. And I may do a parlay, I may not. Doc is a parlay guy. I'm really not. This is the math that I want to get into with you guys. Okay. Amen Thompson's, prop levels for the Knicks game. Okay. 17.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Folks, that's a PRA of 31.5. He triple-doubled pretty massively on Monday night against the Knicks. Okay. He's a 40 PRA guy right now. He's not a 31.5 PRA guy right now. So Vegas is going to catch up to this. And they may catch up to it for this game. Like, if his PRA spikes all the way up to like 38.5, don't play it, okay? But if his PRA, it's probably going to come up a little bit after the triple-double. Maybe to 33.5, right? 31.5 here, maybe up. Maybe it's 32.5. Bang it, okay? Anything in the low 30s PRA, bang it. And the rebound at 9.5, all right, you want to get delicate with that, but the assist at 4.5, which may go up to 5.5, right? No VanVleet, Amen Thompson's going to be around 10 dimes, okay? Like, that's all day long. So talk to me about what I'm vibing there with the all Amen parlay.
Is Şengün supposed to play in this game?
I don't know. I would say very questionable right now. He's missed like 3 straight games. But they may have been looking at the Knicks game as a rest game to come back against Brooklyn. I don't know.
Yeah, because he didn't play against the Knicks. So hopefully he plays, man. But yeah, with Fred VanVleet out, I mean, Amen Thompson, he was already a green light special. Fire him up and let him rip, man. Like, it's gonna be fun.
Are you going to play the Amen or Gafford parlay tomorrow? You're a parlay guy. I'm giving you single player parlays. What you still need to think about it a little bit?
They'll be involved. They'll be involved. They will be involved with what I do tomorrow. Yes.
I love it. I love it, dude. My guy right there.
I'm having a bad week, man. I got to get it back. I got to get it back tomorrow.
Dude, I'm here to help, bro. I'm here to help and root for you, man. I want my boy Doc.
Bad beats.
He has. He's been texting me about him. It's like, dude, are you serious? So, Doc, just a couple things on the Nets here, and I want to move on. The Nets are showcasing Nick Claxton, D'Angelo Russell before the trade deadline. Okay, that's why they're playing right now. Don't get used to this. And then Zaire Williams and Keon Johnson, I think, are solid streamers for this game. Z Williams, who's very inconsistent, but he's on a little bit of a flow right now. 21-8 with 2 blocks and 2 threes in that win over Houston. Keon Johnson went 13-9-5 with a block and 2 threes. Keon Johnson's my guy. If you're going to stream somebody from Brooklyn, it would be him. But I just wanted to point out that I do believe Zaire Williams is a pretty good streamer for this game based on the temporary situation there. All right, Doc, let's move on to the Knicks at the Raptors. It is Cam, it is Doc. He's the Hall of Famer. We are Fantasy NBA today, and we're breaking down Tuesday's slate. RJ Barrett, Doc. This is the RJ Barrett Bowl. OG Anunoby, of course, will be out. I want to go into some numbers here for RJ Barrett. I believe I have another money-making opportunity for you all. He has a season-long PRA of 21, 7, and 6, which equals 34. He has a PRA against the Knicks of 33. He's gone 23, 6, and 4. Okay, very healthy numbers against New York, very healthy numbers against everybody. If there's value here, okay, if it's at 31.5 or 32.5, a PRA from RJ Barrett, and I feel really good about a PRA for him. He's consistently packed points, rebounds, and assists in the box score all year long. Threes, blocks, and steals, not so much. Okay, he's a PRA guy. So if there's value to me at 31.5 or 32.5, okay, basically anything below 33, I would go with here with RJ Barrett in the RJ Barrett Bowl. Knicks in the second of a back-to-back. This game's in Toronto, so I like this spot for RJ Barrett, Doc.
I love a good revenge bowl, reunion, whatever you want to call it. And RJ Barrett played for the Knicks for a long time. I'm thinking RJ Barrett's going to score at least 30 points in this game by himself.
Ooh, Doc's going to have like a 10-leg parlay going tomorrow with a lot of these vibes that he's liking and creating on his own as well. We have the Emmanuel Quickly Bowl. He's still in a minutes restriction after 2 games back. He's been at 15 minutes and 17 minutes. He's really cooking in that time. He's got 25 points over 32 minutes. The Knicks better look out. This is going to probably be a 20 or 24-minute game for Quickly. And again, it's the Quickly Bowl. He should play well. Precious Achiuwa, remember, he's a former Raptor, okay? He came over to the Knicks in the OG Anunoby trade. He had a Draymond Green-esque non-double-double on Monday against Houston. Just wanted to point that out. And then, Doc, I do believe that this is going to be a Karl Anthony Towns game. Monday was a Brunson game, and I think the tables are going to turn on Tuesday. Cat is beasting against Toronto this year. His 3-cat stat line is 27, 13, and 5, okay? That's a 45 PRA. Jalen Brunson is completely struggling against Toronto this year. He's at 15 points per game on 41%, and both of those are over 3 meetings. So I really like Cat in this game, and I'm wearing my boy Brunsonian right here because I'm geeked about the Monday night performance against Houston, but I do not believe that this is going to be a Brunsonian game, dude.
I'm kind of fired up about Precious Achiuwa here. Yes, he had the triple single on Monday, but on Saturday, he had 15 points, 15 boards, 3 assists, a steal. He's starting because OG Anunoby is out. That's a big deal. He's playing against his former team. That's a big deal. His points over under is probably going to be around, 9.5, not 8.5, somewhere in there. I think Achiuwa is a very good play. Fantasy or gambling or whatever you want to do Tuesday as well.
All right, my dude, let's move on here to Miami at Chicago. I know you're a big Kobe White guy, and I've got good news for you, Doc. Play the point prop over on Kobe White. You probably already know this. He's at 18.4 points per game on the season. That is a very important number because that is not who Kobe White is going to be without Zach LaVine, okay? He's going to live in the 20s. So that's going to create at least temporary value with the Vegas line. on his point prop. If it's at 19.5 or 20.5, play the over. Anything above that, I just don't see the value right now. But 20.5 or under, play the over. Okay, I hope that made sense on Kobe White. Last 3 games, and he missed a little bit of time with an injury. He's been 16, 22, and 25. He's going like this. Okay, more shots without Levine. Vucevic may be out the door soon as well. This is probably about to be Kobe White's team, Doc.
Yeah. Kobe White and Josh Giddey. But Vooch will be playing tonight, I assume. So, and Kobe White's due for an explosion, right? He's due for a big game because he came back from the injury. He's just been kind of plugging along, playing well, but not doing anything crazy. Zach's out of there, and now you have to think Kobe's like, all right, it's time for me to take over and do this. So, doing it against Miami makes sense. They're not like a defensive, a stud defensive team. So I do like that take. I think Josh Giddey has been playing very well. I'm excited about him. Vooch keeps getting it done, even with all the trade rumors. And then I feel like Matas Buzelis has been coming on a little bit. And eventually he's going to hit. He's going to break out. So I would keep a close eye on Buzelis tomorrow.
Is he a must-add in 12-team leagues?
Did he have a good weekend? I've been on him.
He's been, Doc, his last 3-game line has been about 12 points, 7 rebounds, couple of threes, a block or 2.
And the minutes are up, 22, 26, 26. If Buzelis is going to get 26 minutes a night, he is a must-add, I think.
He's right there for me. It depends. Like if Stefan Castle is still out there in a Yahoo league, go get him, right? But if it's like a real league where like the guys that should be on teams are on teams, then I definitely think he's at least a consideration. I'm not quite there to must-add level yet. I do like the PRA over with Josh Giddey, Doc. He was 20, 10, and 4 in his last game. If the PRA prop for Giddey is around 30, attack it. Because, again, his overall season numbers are not an indication of who he's going to be without Zach LaVine. So capitalize on that. And then Tyler Hero, Doc, I've got his point prop over here as well because I love a bounce back factor. A really good player having a great year, the best year of his life, coming off of a dreadful game, okay? These guys usually don't have 2 duds in a row. They sit on this game for 2 days, they get pissed about it, and they fix it, okay? 11 points on 4 of 15 in his last game. It might be his worst game of the entire year. He's going to bounce back. That was the game against the Spurs when Bam Adebayo hit the buzzer beater. This is going to be a Tyler Hero game. Are you ready to move on to Indiana and Portland, Doc?
Yes, sir.
All right. Miles Turner missed Monday's game. I believe that was a rest scenario at Utah. Just putting it out there. You guys can watch it on Tuesday leading up to the game. I believe Miles Turner will play in this game. Both teams are going to be in the second of a back-to-back here, Indiana and Portland. I favor Portland in this one, okay? And let me quickly check here. Oh, wow. As we speak, so I can't talk about the Portland and Phoenix game. The previous 8 games, 7-1 were the Blazers, okay? I like Portland in this game, Doc. Portland is like the Bermuda Triangle of the NBA. There's all these baseball series because apparently Portland's such a tough city to fly into, blah, blah, blah. I don't like all that, but it's a thing, okay? There's a lot of schedule losses in Portland over the years, especially a road back-to-back, okay? And Portland is, but they're at home on Monday, okay? So there's no travel for them. They're just showing up again to go to work and have another game here. So I do like Portland, and they're probably going to be getting points here against Indiana. I mean, maybe they get Indiana by 1.5 or 2.5, right? Play the Blazers. And then, Doc, I have a question for you. Are we dropping Scoot Henderson and Shadon Sharp because of these winning ways of Portland and because the tanky shutdown that we assumed was going to happen I don't think it's going to happen right now. I think they're going to rock with Ayton Simons and their 3 forward look with Sharp and Scoot playing a lot off the bench. They've basically been undefeated with the exception of one loss since going to that.
Yeah. But Scoot's been playing well. Like, I'm still good with Scoot. I'm still good with Tumani. But, I mean, it does feel like Portland is not going to tank. I always make fun of them for being horrible at tanking. And they're so bad at it that now they can't. They can't tank. They've won too many games. Man, they had all those L's in a row from like January 9th to January 18th. They lost 5 in a row, and they've won pretty much ever since. Yeah, I Tumani Kamara and Scoot Henderson, I'm still cool with. I want those guys on my fantasy teams. Pacers have lost 3 of their last 4. I think all 3 of those were on the road. They're not a great road team. It's a road back-to-back. Portland's hot. You're probably going to be getting points with, well, Portland's probably going to be like, well, what is it? Let's just look.
That line can't be out. If Portland is, that line can't be out already. Unless you got a look-ahead line.
No, it's not, because they're playing right now while we're taping this on Monday night. So, but it's going to be a favorable line for Portland. So I'm with you on that one.
All right, he is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. I am Rick Kamla, and we are the Fantasy NBA today. Before we get into the Lakers at the Clippers, have you guys downloaded the Sports Ethos app yet? Please do. Go to your favorite app store, download the Sports Ethos app. It's completely free. Keeps you updated on everything you need to know to dominate your fantasy leagues. There's blurbs on NBA, and so you can find out who's in, who's out, the big performances, the terrible performances. We've got it all covered for you there. So please check that out. Again, the Sports Ethos app, go ahead and download it right now while you're listening to us on this podcast. All right, Lakers at Clippers. Doc, you're going to love this because the Clippers are going to win this game. And I know you're very invested in the Clippers this year. They're going to win this game. The point spread is 7.5. Ooh. Right? 7.5. I don't want to go 7.5. I want to go 7.5. I don't care. I just think the Clippers are going to win this game, and I'm not going to overthink the points on it. Okay, the Clippers are at home. They are 4-2 in their last 6 games. They're going to be rested for this game. They're the number 2 defensive rated team in the league. Did you know that? Luka's not going to play. LeBron and Reeves against the Clippers core 4 of Zubats, Kawhi, Harden, and Powell, which is suddenly looking like a really formidable core 4. Okay, they've been good all year, even without Kawhi. The Clippers own the Lakers head-to-head right now. They have stolen the Lakers' mojo in a Laker town, at least head-to-head. So, Doc, it's a big number, but I think that big number is a little dubious, but also an indicator that the Clippers are probably going to smash the Lakers here on Tuesday night. Man, that's a big number in a rivalry game like this. So how you feeling about that, and what are your overall vibes here on Lakers and Clips? By the way, sorry, Doc. Andre Lamouche is telling us the Blazers are plus 4.5 on Tuesday night against Indiana. That's giddy up, dude.
Yeah, I like that.
That was you that put that in there. Doc, you the man. Yeah, that's a giddy up right there, dude.
Yeah, 4.5 for the Blazers. I really like at home against the Pacers, and they're 7-1 over their last 8. Yeah, I like that. The Lakers are going to be reeling from the Anthony Davis trade. The Clippers are good, man. They're like loaded top to bottom. We don't really know what the Lakers are going to look like now without Anthony Davis's defense in there. I think you want to do prop bets on Rui Hachimura, because anytime AD's out, Rui's going to go off, and now AD's gone. So that's a good thing. Dalton Connect maybe back in the starting lineup now. I like that. I think Dalton Connect is going to catch fire soon. I think he's a pickup if he's sitting out there. And then the Clippers, I love the fact that Kawhi Kawhi Leonard and his resurgence, because he's playing very well right now, has not really slowed down Norman Powell much. Really hasn't slowed down anybody. So I'm kind of digging that. And hopefully Norman Powell, who sat out the last game, is good to go in this one. It looks like he is. So, yeah, I don't really trust betting point props on Clippers just because they're weird with Harden and Powell and Kawhi and Zubac. The only one I usually mess with is Derrick Jones Jr. He usually hits. He's usually at like 8.5, 9.5 points. So I'm good with that.
All right, Doc, one more vibe from me and we'll get out of here. This reeks of a do-it-myself game from LeBron James. No Anthony Davis, no Luka. I think we saw this a little bit on Saturday night against the New York Knicks, and he did have help that night. But I feel like this one, with the Lakers being on the road at the Clippers and the Clippers being so good defensively, that I think a lot of the Lakers role players are not going to play well in this game. And so, and LeBron is going to be like, yo, just, get on my back. He's going to be doing that after and ones and stuff like that. I like the point prop over for LeBron James. He's averaging 24 on the season, okay? Let's say his point prop over is 24.5. Play it. Let's say it's 25.5. Play it. Let's say it's 26.5. Play it. 27.5 and over, I'm out, okay? 26.5 and below, I'm about the over for LeBron James. He had 33 on Saturday at New York. He's in the mood to score, right? He's Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson in the same body. I've said that since the first time I saw him play in the McDonald's All-American game, okay? And he's lived that out. So he can go into these stretches where it's a festival of dimes. He can go into these stretches where he scores 1 million points every game, right? He's in scoring mode right now because he has to keep the Lakers in these games. Otherwise, it's a math problem for them. So that's all I got, Doc. My chamber is empty. You got anything else for the people before we get out of here?
I don't think so. It'll be cool to see Luka sitting on the Lakers sidelines for that game. I assume he'll be there. He should be, right? Probably not playing, but he'll be. Luka hopefully is playing on Monday, and I'll be excited. I hope the Lakers just start balling. I've never been a Lakers fan, but here we are. I think I am now.
Are you going to get a Luka jersey? And if so, are you going purple? You're going gold? You getting a Luka jersey? 77 in Laker gold.
Nobody knows. We're going to find out, though. We're going to find out. I will probably have some kind of Luka LA gear at some point.
Do you have a birthday coming up?
I do not. It just happened.
Oh, it just happened. Well, happy belated birthday, brother.
No, thanks.
Maybe Casey can get you. Oh, we did celebrate it on the show. Too many.
No, I have a good friend of mine who's going to Pasadena tomorrow, or actually on Tuesday, the day this is airing, and she's all about buying gifts while she's gone. She was talking to me yesterday, and she's like, "Your boyfriend Luka just got." She said he just got transferred. He just got transferred to the Lakers. And I was like, transferred? Really? And she's like, yeah, but I'm going and I'll probably be buying stuff. So I'm hoping she comes home with some Luka goodness for me. We'll find out.
I hope so too, my friend. So we are out. Guys, girls, good luck on the Tuesday night slate with your fantasy decisions, with your betting decisions, or your investment decisions. Go out there and kick some ass, man, and make some money. And remember, we are going to be back Tuesday night around midnight Eastern time, breaking down all the games that are played on Tuesday with Ethos After Dark. This has been the Fantasy NBA today. Again, download our app. It's completely free, the Sports Ethos app. And go to our website and subscribe, sportsethos.com. We appreciate you on all of that. Huge trade deadline special coming up here as well on Thursday, February 6th, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We're up and live on the air and taking you through the whole day of trades and all the fantasy spins. So for Andre, for Doc, and we love you out there, I am Rick Kamla. thanking you and telling you that this show has been presented by Bet Online.